Hey Dreamers, welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to be going over how we can make these platforms here that move up and down there's a visual indicator of a painting, and these are completely customizable. We can change the height in which they move, we can change the speed in which they move, and they're all just one object. If you're interested in learning, stick around because I'm going over it right now. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is get out a block that we can use as a platform. Go ahead and set it here. I'll maybe make this wider and shorter. There we go, that looks good. And I'm going to go ahead and put this onto the grid and then increase the grid size quite a bit. Let's go to, 4 works. So what we can do is we can go into paint mode and we use the rule flex, and then we'll use tentacle snap. And we'll start at this point, and then we'll go upwards a bunch. So I'll just go up 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll stop at 10. There we go. So that's like 40 meters or 40 in-game units, whatever that is, right? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and group these two things. Okay, so how are we going to move it up and down? Let's get a microchip out, and let me turn the grid size back down here. Get a microchip out, and I'm going to group it. It's going to be in the group and surface snapped onto this object here. Okay, so in here, we'll put a keyframe, and what this will do is inside of the group, we'll move this thing all the way up to the top of the painting. There we go. Okay. So we can have it like that, or we can have the top flush with the top. If we want to do that, we'd have to turn the grid back down. So we could have it like that, or we could have it here. I think this makes a little bit more sense. Kind of gives a better visual indication of where the top is. So there we go. That's that keyframe. So obviously, if we had something giving this partial power, for example, say we had a signal generator which went from 0 to 1. Let's go ahead and maybe give this some more time, like over 10 seconds. We can plug that into the power of this keyframe, and we'll see that over 10 seconds this thing moves from the bottom to the top. Right? And then it'll move back down over the next 10 seconds. Say we have this, but we don't want it to go 40 meters. What can we do? There's actually a pretty neat little trick we can do here. I'll get out a microchip again, but this one is grouped. It's stamped to the total group, not within inside the group. Right? We have this one, which is surface snapped onto just this platform. This one is surface snapped onto the entire group. What we can do here is we can set the height using a value slider. So this could be a percentage from 0 to 1. In order to get a little bit more control, why don't we go from 0 to 40, and then we can divide by 40. This will just allow us to have more intermediate positions. So we'll put this in here like that. So this is from 0 to 40, and this is dividing by 40, so this will output a percentage from 0 to 100. And this will go into a node. Now, I'll set this to 40 for now, but you can probably guess where this is going. This is going to go 2 places. One place it's going to go is it's going to go into the end point of this painting, because we can see we can adjust this, right? So this will go in here, and I'll just set it to overwrite because this will automatically do it for us. So that's pretty cool, right? We can adjust the height of the platform. Now, as of right now, this won't work because the keyframe is still going to go past that, right? The keyframe still goes all the way up. So that's another thing we need to adjust here is the keyframe maximum, right? So let's get out a node here. This will come in here like this. And so now instead of plugging this directly in, what we'll do is we'll just multiply the two together. So this is still going from 0 to 1, and this is the maximum amount that it should go to. And so that will give us a 0 to 100% of this total amount. So now we can see that as the 10 seconds go by, it will only go to the top of where the painting is. Right? So that's pretty cool. So we can adjust the height of our platforms just with this one value slider here. And so we could have a bunch of these, and they can all have their own varying heights, right? We have a nice little single object here that we can use throughout our entire level to create a variety of different length platforms, right? And if you wanted it to go side to side, you could do the same thing. So instead of having this painting go upwards, what we do is we could rotate this. Let's rotate the painting here. So we'll have it down here like this. There we go. See, we can still control it this way. And now that keyframe just needs to be changed. So I'll just delete the keyframe and we'll get a new one. And so this keyframe is going to move this object over here to the end. And so again, it's up to you whether you want that to be how that works. But now we have two platforms that basically work the same way, but now we have these going left and right and up and down. Right? And of course, if you wanted this to go the other direction, there are a couple ways you could do that. For example, one way you could, while holding it, you could press L3, and that will then make it go the other way. Right? Kind of flips it. One thing to note about that is it flips everything, so the chips are backwards. But that would work. And another way you could do it is use an inverted signal here. So for example, we could get out a signal manipulator and we'll just invert the input like so, and unplug that. There we go. Oop. Right, and so now this will go the other way. Super easy way to make these platforms that can change heights and distance traveled and things like that. Super easily customizable as well, and pretty low on thermo cost, right? We can see that this one platform here, obviously we're at less than 1% gameplay here. Right, we're at 1%. So if let's make a bunch of these, I guess. So there, we have 18. Get a bunch. Right, so there's 200 platforms at 14%. Obviously, in a 2D game or 3D game, you're not going to ever have 200 platforms all, working all at the same time. So fairly low thermo cost, and we don't need to create a bunch of extra platforms that move at varying heights, right? It's all just one object. So this one group can be easily controlled to reduce thermo cost. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. If you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, click subscribe because I got some cool content coming out. I hope everyone had a wonderful holiday season and is having a great new year. I'll see you next time.